Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have complete control over their money while others struggle every month, even with a good salary? The difference usually isn't intelligence or luck. It's financial knowledge. The truth is that most of us spend years learning subjects like math, history, and science, but almost nobody teaches us how money actually works. We grow up earning, spending, and borrowing money without understanding the basic rules that control our financial lives. That's why many people work hard every day but still feel stressed about money. The good news is that learning about money isn't as difficult as it seems. You don't need to be an accountant. You don't need to be a financial expert. You just need to understand a few basic concepts that almost everyone uses every single day. In this video, I'm going to explain 20 financial concepts that everyone should know. I'll keep everything simple. I'll use real-life examples. And by the end of this video, you'll have a much better understanding of how money works. So let's start with the first concept. Number 1. Money. Let's start with a simple question. What is money? Most people would probably say, it's the cash in my wallet. Some might say it's the balance in their bank account. Both answers are correct, but they don't explain what money really is. Money is simply a tool that helps people buy and sell things. Imagine we lived hundreds of years ago before money existed. Let's say you grow apples. Your neighbor has chickens. You want eggs, so you offer him some apples. If he wants apples too, great, you make the trade. But what if he doesn't want apples? Maybe he wants milk instead. Now you have to find someone who has milk and is willing to trade it for apples. Then you take that milk to your neighbor and exchange it for eggs. That would take a lot of time. This is why money was created. Instead of carrying apples, milk, or chickens everywhere, everyone agreed to use money because it made buying and selling much easier. But here's something many people don't realize. Money itself doesn't make someone rich. Imagine giving two friends $5,000 each. The first friend spends all of it on the latest phone, expensive clothes, and eating out. The second friend buys what they need, saves some money, and invests the rest. 1 year later, who do you think is in a better financial position? The difference isn't how much money they received. The difference is how they used it. Money is only a tool. How you use that tool determines your financial future. 2. Income. Now that we know what money is, let's talk about how we get it. Income is simply the money you earn. For most people, income comes from a job. You go to work, complete your tasks, and your employer pays you. That's your income. Some people earn money by running a business. Others make money from investments or rental properties. No matter where it comes from, if money is coming into your pocket, it's called income. Now here's a common mistake. Many people believe that earning more money will automatically make them rich. It sounds logical, doesn't it? But that's not always true. Imagine someone earns $3,000 a month and spends $2,900. Later, they get a promotion and start earning $6,000 a month. Instead of saving the extra money, they buy a luxury car, move into a more expensive apartment, and spend more on shopping and vacations. Now they're spending $5,900 a month. Even though their income doubled, they're still saving only $100 every month. This is why increasing your income is important, but learning how to manage it is even more important. It's not just about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. Number 3. Bank accounts. Once you start earning money, you need a safe place to keep it. That's where banks come in. Imagine you receive your paycheck in cash every month. Would you keep thousands of dollars under your mattress? Probably not. It could be stolen. It could get damaged. Or you might even lose it. Banks solve that problem by keeping your money safe. But banks do much more than just store your money. They make it easy to receive your paycheck, pay bills, shop online, transfer money, and use a debit card instead of carrying cash everywhere. You'll usually hear about two types of bank accounts. The first is a checking account. Think of this as your everyday spending account. It's where your paycheck usually goes, and it's the account you use to pay bills, buy groceries, and make daily purchases. The second is a savings account. This is where you keep money that you don't plan to spend right away. Many savings accounts even pay you a small amount of interest, which means the bank pays you a little extra just for keeping your money there. It's not a huge amount, but it's better than letting your money sit at home doing nothing. 4. Saving. Let's imagine you get paid $1,000 today. What's the first thing most people do? They pay bills. They go shopping. They order food. Maybe they buy something they don't really need because payday feels exciting. By the end of the month, they look at their bank account and wonder where all the money went. Then they tell themselves, "I'll start saving next month." But next month, the same thing happens again. Here's a better way. The moment you get paid, save a small amount first. Let's say you move $100 into your savings account as soon as your paycheck arrives. Now you have $900 left to spend. This simple habit is called paying yourself first. Even if you start with just $20 or $50 each paycheck, you're building a habit that can completely change your financial future. Saving isn't about becoming rich overnight. It's about being prepared. One day your car might need repairs, your laptop could stop working, or you might have an unexpected medical bill. When that happens, your savings can protect you from going into debt. 5. Budgeting. Now let's talk about something that sounds boring, but is actually one of the most powerful financial habits you can have. Budgeting. Many people think a budget means you can't have fun or buy the things you enjoy. That's not true at all. A budget simply tells your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Imagine you're going on a road trip to a place you've never been before. Would you just start driving without checking the route? Probably not. You'd use a map. A budget is exactly like that map. It gives your money a direction. For example, let's say you earn $3,000 this month. Before you spend anything, you make a simple plan. Some money goes toward rent. Some goes toward groceries. Some goes into savings. And the rest is for entertainment and other expenses. Now every dollar has a purpose. Without a budget, it's easy to spend a little here and a little there without realizing how quickly it adds up. But with a budget, you're in control. Your money stops controlling you. Now that you understand the basics of money, income, bank accounts, saving, and budgeting, you've built a strong financial foundation. But life doesn't always go according to plan. Unexpected expenses happen. Credit cards can either help you or hurt you. Loans can build your future or become a burden. Now that you know how to earn, save, and manage your money, let's talk about something just as important. Life doesn't always go according to plan. No one wakes up expecting their car to break down. No one plans to lose their job. No one expects an emergency hospital visit. But these things happen. The question isn't if they'll happen. The question is when. That's why the next 5 financial concepts are so important. Let's start with something every person should have. Number 6. Emergency fund. Imagine you're driving to work one morning. Everything is going fine. Then suddenly, your car starts making a strange noise. You take it to the mechanic. After checking it, the mechanic says, "The repair is going to cost $1,200. Now imagine two different people. The first person has an emergency fund. They pay the repair bill and continue with their life. It's frustrating, but it's not a financial disaster. The second person has no savings. Now they have to borrow money, use a credit card, or even skip paying another bill just to fix the car. The same problem happened to both people, but only one of them was financially prepared. That's exactly what an emergency fund is. It's money that you set aside only for unexpected situations. Not for vacations, not for shopping, not for buying the latest phone. Only for real emergencies. Many financial experts recommend saving enough money to cover 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. That may sound like a lot. And that's okay. You don't have to save it all at once. Even saving a little every month brings you one step closer. Think of an emergency fund like an umbrella. You don't carry it because it's raining today. You carry it because it might rain tomorrow. Number 7. Credit cards. Now let's talk about something that almost every adult has. A credit card. Many people think a credit card gives them extra money, but that's not true. A credit card doesn't give you money. It lets you borrow money. Imagine you walk into a store and buy a new TV for $800 using your credit card. Did you actually pay for the TV? Not yet. The bank paid the store for you. Now you owe the bank $800. If you pay the full amount before the due date, you usually won't pay any interest. But if you only pay the minimum amount, the remaining balance starts growing because of interest. Let's say you still owe $700. Next month, interest gets added. Now maybe you owe $715. If you continue making only small payments, that debt can keep growing. That's why many people stay in credit card debt for years. A good rule is simple. Treat your credit card exactly like cash. If you can't afford to pay the full amount today, think twice before using your credit card. Used wisely, credit cards can be very useful. Used carelessly, they can become very expensive. Number 8. Loans. Have you ever borrowed money from a friend? Maybe you forgot your wallet and asked someone to lend you $20 until tomorrow. A loan works the same way. The only difference is that instead of borrowing from a friend, you're borrowing from a bank or another lender. People take loans for many different reasons. Buying a house, paying for college, starting a business, buying a car. Not all loans are bad. Imagine someone takes a home loan to buy a house. Over the years, that house may increase in value. That's often considered a good use of a loan. Now imagine someone takes a loan just to buy expensive clothes or the newest phone. A year later, those items are worth much less. But they still have to keep making monthly payments. That's why it's important to ask yourself one question before borrowing money. Is this loan helping me build my future, or just helping me buy something I want today? The answer can make a huge difference. Number 9. Interest. We've mentioned interest a few times already. But what exactly is it? Interest is simply the extra money that gets added when money is borrowed. Let's look at an example. Imagine your friend asks to borrow $100. A week later, they return $105. The extra $5 is like interest. Banks work the same way. If you borrow money from a bank, you don't just pay back what you borrowed. You also pay interest. But here's something many people don't realize. Interest can also work for you. Imagine you put $1,000 into a savings account. The bank may pay you interest for keeping your money there. In other words, sometimes you pay interest, sometimes you earn interest. Successful people try to spend more time earning interest than paying it. That's one of the biggest differences between people who build wealth and people who stay stuck in debt. Number 10. Inflation. Have you noticed that almost everything costs more today than it did a few years ago? A movie ticket, a burger, a gallon of gas, even groceries. Let's imagine your favorite pizza cost $10 5 years ago. Today, the exact same pizza costs $15. Did the pizza suddenly become $5 better? Probably not. The value of your money changed. This is called inflation. Inflation means that prices go up over time. As prices increase, the buying power of your money goes down. Think about it this way. If you had $100 10 years ago, you could probably buy more groceries than you can with the same $100 today. That's inflation at work. This is also why many people choose to invest instead of keeping all their money in cash. If your money grows faster than inflation, your purchasing power increases. If it doesn't, your money slowly loses value over time. That's why understanding inflation is so important. It's happening whether we notice it or not. So far, we've learned how to earn money. Save it, protect it, avoid unnecessary debt, and understand why prices keep rising every year. But there's one question we haven't answered yet. How do people actually make their money grow? How do some people build wealth without working more hours? The answer is investing. So far, we've talked about earning money, saving it, avoiding unnecessary debt, and understanding inflation. Those concepts help you protect your money. But protecting your money is only half the journey. The next step is learning how to grow it. Have you ever wondered how some people become wealthier even while they're sleeping? It's not because they're working 24 hours a day. In many cases, it's because their money is working for them. Let's see how that works. Number 11. Investing. Imagine you have $1,000. You have two choices. The first option is to leave that money in a drawer at home. 5 years later, it's still $1,000. The second option is to invest it wisely. If your investment grows over time, that same $1,000 could become much more. That's what investing is. Investing means using your money to buy something that has the potential to increase in value over time. Think about planting an apple seed. When you plant it, it doesn't become a tree overnight. You water it. Take care of it. Give it time. Years later, it grows into a tree that produces hundreds of apples. Investing works the same way. Your money needs time to grow. Many beginners think investing is gambling, but long-term investing is very different. You're not trying to get rich next week. You're giving your money time to grow over many years. The biggest mistake people make is waiting too long. The earlier you start investing, the more time your money has to grow. Number 12. Stocks. One of the most popular ways to invest is by buying stocks. But what exactly is a stock? Imagine your friend wants to open a pizza restaurant. They need money to grow the business. Instead of borrowing all the money from a bank, they decide to sell small ownership pieces of the company. You buy one of those pieces. Now you're a small owner of the business. That's exactly how stocks work. When you buy a stock, you're buying a tiny piece of a company. If that company grows and becomes more valuable, your stock may become more valuable too. Let's say you bought shares in a company for $100. A few years later, those shares are worth $180. Your investment has grown. Of course, stocks don't always go up. Some companies perform well, others don't. That's why investing in stocks should usually be viewed as a long-term strategy rather than a way to make quick money. Number 13. Bond stocks aren't the only way to invest. Another common investment is called a bond. Imagine your city wants to build a new bridge. Building that bridge costs millions of dollars. Instead of raising all the money immediately, the government borrows money from investors. In return, they promise to pay that money back later, along with interest. That's essentially what a bond is. When you buy a bond, you're lending your money to a government or a company. Unlike stocks, you're not becoming an owner. You're acting more like the bank. Because bonds are generally considered less risky than stocks, they usually offer lower returns. Many investors choose to own both stocks and bonds because they balance each other. Stocks have higher growth potential. Bonds usually provide more stability. Number 14. Mutual funds and ETFs. Now imagine you have enough money to buy only one stock. What happens if that company performs badly? Your investment could lose value. That's why many people choose mutual funds or ETFs instead. Imagine going to a fruit market. Instead of buying only one apple, you buy a basket filled with apples, oranges, bananas, grapes, and strawberries. If one fruit isn't very good, you still have many others. Mutual funds and ETFs work the same way. Instead of investing in just one company, your money is spread across many different companies. Some funds even include hundreds or thousands of businesses. That means you're not depending on the success of a single company. This is called diversification. It's one of the easiest ways to reduce investment risk. That's why mutual funds and ETFs are often recommended for beginners. Number 15. Saving versus investing. People often use the words saving and investing as if they mean the same thing. But they're actually very different. Let's imagine you're planning a vacation next summer. The money you'll need in a few months should probably stay in a savings account. Why? Because you'll need it soon, and you don't want to risk losing any of it. Now imagine you're saving for retirement, which is 30 years away. Keeping that money in a savings account for decades may not help it grow very much. That's where investing becomes important. Saving is for money you'll need in the near future. Investing is for money you won't need for many years. Think of saving as parking your car in a safe garage. Your car stays protected, but it doesn't change. Investing is more like planting a tree. It takes patience, but over time, it has the potential to grow and produce much more than you started with. The smartest financial plans include both. You save for short-term needs and emergencies. You invest for long-term goals and future wealth. By now, you've learned how to earn money, manage it, protect it, and make it grow. But there's still one important piece of the puzzle. Even if you earn, save, and invest wisely, you'll still have to deal with taxes, insurance, retirement planning, and setting financial goals. These final concepts tie everything together and help you build a strong financial future. We've come a long way. You now understand what money is, how to earn it, how to save it, how to avoid unnecessary debt, and how to invest for the future. Now let's talk about the final 5 concepts that complete your financial foundation. These are the concepts that almost every adult deals with, whether they realize it or not. Let's begin with taxes. Number 16. Taxes. Imagine your employer tells you that your salary is $4,000 a month. You're excited because you think you'll receive all $4,000. But payday arrives, and your bank account shows less than that. You might wonder, where did the rest of my money go? The answer is taxes. Taxes are money collected by the government to pay for things that everyone uses. Think about the roads you drive on every day, the public schools in your neighborhood, police officers, firefighters, public parks. Many of these services are paid for using tax money. In simple words, taxes are everyone's contribution to running the country. You may not always notice where your tax money goes, but you benefit from many of these services every day. Understanding taxes also helps you avoid surprises when you receive your paycheck or file your tax return. Number 17. Insurance. Let's imagine you finally buy your dream car. You've worked hard for it. A few weeks later, someone accidentally crashes into it. The repair bill is $8,000. Now imagine 2 different situations. In the first one, you have car insurance. Your insurance company pays most of the repair cost, and you only pay a small part. In the second situation, you don't have insurance. Now you have to pay the entire $8,000 yourself. That's a huge difference. Insurance protects you from large financial losses. Instead of paying a huge amount all at once when something goes wrong, you pay a smaller amount every month called a premium. There are many types of insurance. Health insurance helps cover medical expenses. Car insurance helps pay for accidents. Homeowners or renters insurance protects your home and belongings. Life insurance helps support your family financially if something happens to you. You hope you never need insurance. But when something unexpected happens, it can save you from a major financial setback. Number 18. Retirement. Most people spend a large part of their lives working. But imagine you're 65 years old. You've decided it's time to stop working and enjoy life. The question is, where will your money come from? If you haven't saved or invested for retirement, you may have to keep working much longer than you planned. That's why retirement planning is so important. Think of retirement like planning a long vacation. You wouldn't wait until the day before your trip to start saving. You'd prepare months or even years in advance. Retirement works the same way. The earlier you start saving and investing, the easier it becomes. Even small amounts invested consistently over many years can grow into a much larger amount because your money has more time to grow. Your future self will be grateful for the decisions you make today. Number 19. Financial goals. Have you ever gone shopping without making a list? You probably bought a few things you didn't really need. The same thing can happen with money. If you don't have financial goals, it's easy to spend without thinking. Financial goals give your money a purpose. For example, maybe your short-term goal is to save $2,000 for an emergency fund. Or perhaps you want to pay off your credit card debt within a year. Your long-term goals might be buying your first home, starting a business, or retiring comfortably. When you have a clear goal, making financial decisions becomes much easier. Instead of asking, "Can I buy this?" you start asking, "Will buying this move me closer to my goal or further away from it?" That simple change in thinking can make a huge difference over time. Number 20. Financial freedom. Now we've reached the final concept. Financial freedom. Many people think financial freedom means owning a private jet, a huge mansion, or millions of dollars. But that's not what it means. Financial freedom means having enough money to live the life you want without constantly worrying about your next paycheck. For one person, that might mean retiring early. For someone else, it might mean spending more time with family instead of working overtime every weekend. For another person, it simply means sleeping peacefully at night because they know they can handle unexpected expenses. Financial freedom looks different for everyone, but the path is surprisingly similar. Earn money, spend wisely, save consistently, avoid unnecessary debt, invest for the long term, and be patient. Wealth isn't usually built overnight. It's built through small, smart decisions repeated over many years. Let's quickly recap what we've learned today. We started by understanding what money really is and where income comes from. Then we learned why bank accounts, saving, and budgeting help us stay in control of our finances. After that, we explored emergency funds, credit cards, loans, interest, and inflation, concepts that can either protect your money or slowly drain it if you're not careful. Next, we talked about investing, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and why giving your money time to grow is one of the smartest financial decisions you can make. And finally, we covered taxes, insurance, retirement planning, financial goals, and what financial freedom really means. Here's the most important thing I want you to remember. You don't have to become a financial expert overnight. Start with one good habit. Maybe it's creating your first budget. Maybe it's saving a small amount from every paycheck. Or maybe it's finally opening an investment account. Small steps may not seem exciting today, but over the years, they can completely change your financial future. Money isn't about being lucky. It's about making smart decisions consistently. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who wants to become better with money. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.